Can we get the highlights from the game? How did the game go tonight? Oh, damn, no phone one, boy. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, man. Damn, this nigga roasted his daddy on his jeans. That's tough. Hey, man, what you got in there, man? That shit is sticky, no doubt. Let's get it, man. Why am I not getting settings wrong or something, bro? Hold on. Yo, like, I don't get it, bro. This shit's weird. I'm checking for my shit, because I missed out on a big player this week. I forgot to check in on Sunday, bro. That shit went bad for me. Dunk Tom package. A pretty dope lineup, though. We lagged out last game. We did not lose, y'all. BTW. They tried to hold me.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We've got live NBA basketball headed your way on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Brian Anderson here alongside Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson with Allie LaForce joining us from the floor.
Everybody been saying something, but I ain't.
And here's Anaheim now. Now Gilgeous-Alexander for three. The rebound by Starks. And Dwight Howard picks up the foul.
Dwight Howard.
That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
James outside. And there's the screen. Inside. Here's Ewing. Banked it in off the glass.
And how about Bronny dropping a dime?
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. It's intercepted. James with the ball. And Lively picks him up defensively. Here's Wang. Unable to get that one. Howard with some nice D. And he's going to the line for two. The official saw contact while he was going up.
First team foul.
And something that makes SGA so dangerous on offense, his elite drive and kick ability.
Yeah, you have to load towards him when he comes off a high pick. He just draws so much attention and can find another cutter or spot-up shooter. He has so much gravity to his game.
Come on, man.
It's both from the stripe.
What?
That's what he does. Rock solid at the line.
And we're about a minute into the first. Now, here is James. Pass to Wang. To the wing on the left. 6 to shoot. Here's Ewing. Here's the three. It's hauled in by Brand. First quarter and about a minute and a half in. The rebound by Atlanta. Here's James. Pass to Wang. From outside the arc. Knocks down the long J.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Now Howard. Westbrook with it. Lively with it. All sorts of time. Anaheim with another miss. .152 left to the first. From deep three-point land. And it's Starks missing.
It's never easy from that distance, but we see him drill those and shoot around all the time.
Even though he is capable of hitting that shot, I'd like to see him work for a better look in that situation.
Now here's Westbrook. Fires it. Will not go. Misses off the front iron. Atlanta leading by 3. James outside. Pass to Banchero. Can't cash it in from close range. And so it's Gilgeous-Alexander with it. He brings it up for Anaheim. It's deflected.
Yeah, this is something we might see Banchero work on. Improving his ability to knock away shots.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Clock at 6. And the shot is good by Westbrook.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander with the floater. It's stolen. To the paint. And here in the first quarter, a little over 3.5 minutes played. And it's Starks missing. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Screen by Lively. Gilgeous-Alexander looking it over. He gets it up. Oh, it would have counted had it fallen, but it is offline. That's the end of the first quarter. And not much scoring. It remains close. Atlanta on top, leading by 1. And we'll...
We definitely securing the match.
And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen from Atlanta?
Give it up for their D. They're battling, communicating, and coming up with key stops.
It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the kind of defense that they play. Great showing from them.
It's stolen by Irving. And there's the lob.
Give me that.
It's stolen by Irving. From deep. A nice start for him. Sinking his first shot.
Obviously, this guy has a talent for scoring. Able to problem solve for whatever the defense tosses at him.
Here's Caspi. Outside for Irving. Ooh, solid defense from Mitchell. Atlanta leading by 4. Passed away. Let's go with a 3. Got a hand on it. Come on, right here. Here's Brand. The rebound by Atlanta. Just over a minute has passed here in the second quarter. Here's Wang. Here's the pick. Here's Young. Driving inside. Deflected. And so it looks like it'll be Atlanta's ball.
Substitution on the court.
Five on the clock. And he lobs it up top. It's picked off. Westbrook with it. Picked up by James. And here's Westbrook. From deep three-point range.
Oh my gosh.
Anaheim with another miss. Atlanta leading by 4. James, left side. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
They're handling the contact so well. Bronny James using that solid build of his to finish strong inside.
Quarter 2 and about 2 minutes in. Offensively, it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Westbrook can't hit.
Okay, might as well just
Here's Atlanta with the ball.
7
7-point game, biggest lead so far.
What you shooting with, square?
Now James.
You can't shoot with square when you shooting 3.
From the arc. Howard grabs the miss.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Back to Westbrook. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. The rebound by Atlanta. The 3 from Banchero. At the arc, Banchero finds his mark.
You know, I know some would like to see Banchero increase his shooting range, especially since he doesn't have a solid shot from behind the arc.
To stop the run. And Westbrook lays it in.
Got it in close, and unless it's an open 3, that's the key to efficient offense.
Now a timeout called by Atlanta. A big group substitution here for Atlanta. Now, for those joining us now, we're in the second quarter, about 3 minutes gone by. And Russell Westbrook gets the whistle that time.
Second personal foul.
That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul.
59 seconds left.
That'll be 8 seconds.
That was dumb, man. You're gonna ask me to let you come back. Hey, he does this, bro. Did you already see it? And then I let him score, and he's still crazy. Why? Bro, why? Maybe we'll get a better match this time. Our girl cooked some good food tonight. We had shrimp and potatoes. The cheese all melted on them and shit. Just like grandma used to make it back in the day. The grandma made bologna.
From everyone here at 2K, thanks for joining us. We've got a Wednesday afternoon edition of the NBA for you. Moments away, it'll be Albuquerque going up against Atlanta. Hi, everyone. Here with analysts Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg. I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce, our reporter. Go. And here's Albuquerque now. Now Gilgeous-Alexander. Shot from the wing. And the sweet roll that time on the rim. That one falls.
There's so many facets to SGA's game. He's equally good from all 3 levels. Oh, gritty defense, protecting the rim at all costs against a guy who has all sorts of ways to finish. Great teamwork on that drive, punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
It's rebounded by Banchero. And something that makes SGA so dangerous on offense, his elite drive and kickability.
Yeah, you have to load towards him when he comes off a high pick. He just draws so much attention and can find another cutter or spot-up shooter. He has so much gravity to his game.
Now, here is James. No good with the elbow jumper.
Oh, that's too slightly.
Well, you got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
And count that. 2 points and a chance for one more at the line. Albuquerque shooting their first free throw of the game here. That's good from DeRozan.
It's pretty clear that DeMar DeRozan is an outstanding athlete. He can outrun you, he might outwork you, and he's able to be everywhere on the floor, and he does it with kind of a unique grace and finesse.
Here Starks. Knocks it down from distance.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
And DeRozan, here we go. And the dunk by DeRozan.
Tell you what, I don't know of anybody more aggressive at attacking the basket than DeRozan. A lot of his points come off the drive. Well, I tell you what, the big guy knows how to do that. Throw it down.
Home team foul.
Boy, you gotta be shitting me. Not 2 games in a row, me boy, running for this shit. I said, I'm gonna put these boys in the zone. You ain't finna keep driving to the hole on me. That boy got the fuck out of there. might couldn't shoot. Yo.
Hi, and thanks for joining us on 2K Sports NBA action. It's coming up moments away. It'll be Brooklyn going up against Atlanta. This is Brian Anderson with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And out on the sidelines is Allie LaForce.
Here we go.
And Atlanta with possession here. Out to the right wing. Pulls it. Here's Wang. Pass to Starks. And it's Bird with a rebound.
Ronnie. There we go. No slightly late.
Antetokounmpo with it. This James on the wing. Kicks it out to Antetokounmpo. 5 on the clock. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Just a selfless play by Giannis. He knows all eyes are on him, so he dishes to a ready shooter.
Here's Thompson. Pass to Bird. Out to James. Here's Bird. Check by James. Bird, that's good. Bird's got 5 points.
And you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Here's Wang. James, left side. Pass to Wang. He shoots it. And Atlanta misses again. A little over a minute and a half into this first quarter. Here's James. And slam dunk by James.
As they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Good on the bucket.
Finally, a make for this team. Hopefully it gives them a little confidence.
Yeah, you know, sometimes all it takes is that first bucket to get a team into a groove.
Here's Wang. Off the mark there with a 3. Here's Bird. Nice shot from the wing. He has 7.
Yeah, elevating his teammates with passes like this. LeBron is all about making his guys better.
The 3 from Thompson. The rebound by Atlanta.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Here's Starks. Pulls it from the top of the key.
Oh, my God.
And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Here's Hood Schifino. And out of bounds. Atlanta will have it.
Substitution on the court.
And 1:01 left in the first quarter of the game. And here's Young. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
And Trae Young's attitude on the floor is so striking. He's got this unbreakable edge to him. He's super competitive and is ready to scrap with you.
Well, Grant, aside from making the East Finals in 2021, how would you assess Trae Young's teams?
Well, they're always solid offensive teams, but Trae is the type of player that you need to surround with defensive-minded guys, and he hasn't really had that. I'll tell you, he is so tough to keep down once he gets near that rim.
Yeah, he can get up even a few notches higher. Passed away. Now Banchero from 15 feet away. And down it goes. 2 points.
Yeah, this is a part of Banchero's game they'd like to develop here in the league.
Irving attacking. He got a piece of it. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Hardaway, and he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
Talk about taking advantage of the opportunity.
How about the anticipation right there that led to the steal, then he goes straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
Here's Irving. Shots blocked. From deep three-point land. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Brooklyn out in front, up 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Hello?
Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Brooklyn.
Oh, what a first quarter. You love their willingness to make the extra pass.
Yeah, it's the kind of offense every coach loves to see. Selfless and smart.
Now here's Hardaway. Now here is James. Here's Irving. And it's Ewing with a rebound.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the look they want. It's tough work in the mid-range area.
And Carroll from close range.
I mean, 6'10", about 250. Carroll imposing his will inside.
Ooh, lots of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws will follow that whistle.
I don't mind that. I mean, they met him at the rim and temporarily prevented the point.
It's his first trip to the line. Both free throws good from Irving.
Well, he's been very good at the line, and we all know free throws can make or break you in the end.
And Carroll. Brooklyn pulls it in. Here's Thompson. No luck on that one. Atlanta trails by 5. There's Young with the 3. To the rim. Young.
Yeah, Trae Young can change the course of a game with his outside shooting.
And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments. Here. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. James outside. Pass to Thompson. Can't get it to fall. Here's Atlanta with the ball. Trailing by 2. Murray, no good.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Coach, another guy that symbolizes the rise of Canadian basketball, Jamal Murray. What an impact he's making.
Yeah, Brian, and I'd say even more than just making an impact. This Canadian guard can actually carry an offense on his own at times.
Here's Thompson. Still no points. Right wing. Here's Hutchifino. Back to Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Irving. And it's Irving with a rebound. Atlanta trails by 4. From about 19. And Burke pulls it down.
You won't see him miss that one too many times.
Yeah, it was a great look. Sometimes they don't fall. You've just got to keep taking great shots.
Yeah, so crafty at drawing fouls. Kyrie really enjoys going at the defense and daring them to get aggressive.
This is his second trip to the free throw line in this one. Both free throws good from Irving. And Young has got the ball here for Atlanta. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Brooklyn leading by 6. Irving with it. Irving picks him up. And it's James with the jam.
Doesn't get much better than that. LeBron putting some muscle on the slam.
And Atlanta misses again. Brooklyn with the ball. They lead by 8. Biggest lead of the game. Pass to Hood-Schifino. Now, here is James. On the wing, Irving. Over Mitchell. Irving, no good.
I mean, he's trying to shoot his way out of what's becoming a prolonged cold streak.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense. Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
Atlanta trails by 6. Irving looking around. Pass to Rulin. The second effort. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Rulin's got his second basket.
Well, second chance points are all about a lack of effort defensively. Those buckets would drive me nuts.
But Schifino's shot is off. Outside Irving. Driving inside. Rulin misses the follow-up. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Brooklyn out in front, leading by 4. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out there for the start of the third quarter, right after the break. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Pass to Hood-Schifino. Here's Bird. Oh, and there's a one-hand jam.
Oh, nice one-handed jam there, B.A.
Hey, little exclamation point. There's Young with the 3. The 3 ball is good from Young.
A jumper that is pretty and effective. Young's game starts with his shot.
Well, Coach, we know how good Young is offensively, but he gets heavy criticism for his defense.
Yeah, look, and at 6'1", 164 pounds, he has some obvious limitations, Brian, but he's shown improved effort as a defender, and it shows in his defensive rating.
And you have to have that scoring ability on the floor. Thompson's shot is off. Atlanta trails by 3. And here's the fast break. Mitchell completes the transition play.
The fast break opportunity isn't wasted on Mitchell. His quickness, a big part of his success.
And Brooklyn with possession here. Pass to Bird.
Let's take this game back over. Let's go. Defense.
The rebound by Atlanta.
Yeah, he might want to avoid looking over at the bench for a little bit here. A missed dunk like that is infuriating to a coach.
Now here's Irving. He's scoreless. For the lead. The shot, no good.
Hey, that's a green, bro. Sorry.
Here's Bird. It's rebounded by Banchero.
And we talk about the importance of protecting the rim. Right there, outstanding defense.
Thompson outside. To the wing, right side. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2. That one on Banchero.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
Brooklyn shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. 1:58 left to play in the third quarter. Passed away. Here's Ewing. Shoots a fadeaway. And that's good. Off the glass that time. And that makes it a tie ball game.
You can really see their confidence growing as this game has gone on. They have reason reason to believe that.
Yeah, they're in this one. They have some momentum on their side, and they just need to keep up the intensity.
A clear look for Antetokounmpo. Brooklyn, no good that time either. The three from Bencaro. Brooklyn pulls it in. Here's Irving. Out of bounds. Atlanta will have it. And now we're 3 minutes into this third quarter of play. It's stolen by Irving. And they're on the break. Here's Bird. Oh, he packs it down. Timeout.
That is incredible.
And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
B.A., I'm not sure he should be flaunting around the rim like that with this game so close.
Oh, it's risky, but it sure did look good. Now a timeout called by Atlanta. And as we head into this break, the players have an opportunity to replenish their energy with Gatorade as they prepare to go into the final stages of this ballgame.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, not to mention over the course of a season, you have to stay hydrated. If you don't, it's amazing how much slower your body is to bounce back. It can have a serious effect on performance, no question.
2 shots.
Good on the second one.
Entering the league with that James last name, lots of pressure on Bronny, but he's a guy who is used to being in the spotlight under the microscope.
Hardaway from outside. And it's Ewing with a rebound. And Atlanta with possession here. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points.
Assertive move. You can tell the game's heating up a bit.
Here's Bird. 12 points for him. Hardaway on the wing. Right side, Tucker. Pass to Bird. Takes a three. And good. Coming on the assist by Irving. Bird's got 8 points in the quarter.
What you admire most about Kyrie is his creativity. He sees the floor so well and sets up his teammates effortlessly.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Away team foul. P.J. Tucker. His first.
Both free throws good from Irving. Here's Irving. Out to James. Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. And don't go away. We'll be back in a few moments. It'll be the fourth quarter of basketball coming up next. Man, I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter.
If I lose, Chad, I'm ending the stream.
Here's Atlanta with the ball. There's a screen. Here's James. And the 18-footer right on the mark.
Making use of the in-between area, James is able to put up a smooth shot.
Over to the wing. Here's Hood-Schifino. And the three off target.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
The three, James. Here's McGlure. It's blocked. And so it looks like it'll be Atlanta's ball.
Substitution on the court.
Now James. 6 to shoot.
And how about Bronny dropping a dime?
Here's Antetokounmpo. Against contact. Giannis stays strong.
With a tough road ahead, they worked hard to get a good shot.
James outside. Pass to Wang. From behind the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from James. And Atlanta leads by 5. Here's Bird. That one's wide left.
Well, that wasn't a bad shot. Defense playing a little loose there. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
Man, good whistle there.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Atlanta.
Well, the defense hasn't done nearly a good enough job of getting back in transition, and they've taken advantage, racking up fast break points against them.
Yeah, all throughout the game, the opposition hasn't been able to keep them off the glass, and they're paying for it, giving up second chance points.
And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan. And Atlanta making a change here. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I did listen in on Kenny Atkinson's huddle. He likes the way they're finishing inside. Coach said when we get close, we are golden. They can't stop us in there. Let's keep pounding it as long as we can.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. Passed away. To the left wing. Here's Ewing. Shot clock at 6. He had his back to the basket for over 5 seconds. That'll be a turnover.
I didn't even know that was a rule.
Brooklyn trails by 7. Here's Hood Schifino. Knocks down the long J. Hood Schifino's got his first 3 points of the game.
Cool, calm, and collected at a critical juncture in this game.
Here's Ewing. Thompson pulls it in. Brooklyn with the ball. Antetokounmpo with it. Irving picks him up. Hood Schifino's shot is off.
Well, I've been here before. You're looking to get back in the game, but desperation threes are not the way to do it.
Chalk up 2 there.
Yeah, not sure why he faded away there. Sure looked like he had plenty of space.
Pass to James. James with the ball. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. To the inside. Thompson with a steal.
You know, I think it's desperation time for them.
It's not going to be easy now. They're going to need just about everything to go right from this point on.
And James gets it to go.
Oh, easy to see why LeBron has the ball in these moments. He's dependable at coming through for his team.
Now a timeout called by Atlanta.
Trey.
58 seconds left in the game.
Going beyond mere stats, Mitchell breathes life into this offense. His energy lifts everyone around him.
Donovan Mitchell. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts him up 5. Second one is good, getting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Taking care of business at the line. Converting on all those free throws helps them build this lead.
Now here's Young. Puts one up from 19.
Get him out of here, Trey.
There's 42 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. 4 on the clock. From deep. Brooklyn pulls it in.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking them up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Follow me on YouTube, bro. Niggas can't guide SX, bro.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here, and it's an 8-point ball game. Here's Hood Schifino.
Honestly, they're just down by too much to mount a comeback.
Well, you want your players to keep playing hard, but let's be honest. This game's over.
19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. From deep three-point land. He's off on that one. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
10 seconds. Team's fourth.
He gets the first, and that increases the lead to 6.
And the playmaking skills Banchero has already are outstanding. Just such a unique young player.
Timeout called, Brooklyn. They're losing by 7. All right, guys, what's your take?
They just haven't put it all together tonight.
But they're not going down without a fight. They'll keep game planning and playing until the final whistle.
Bird. Brooklyn, no good that time either. The 3 from Mitchell. Gets the 3 to fall.
Donovan Mitchell.
So it's Atlanta picking up the win. A clean win, and one where they clearly showed better energy.
Yes, so true. They put on a show here at home. And I really think they had that extra swagger and confidence, too.
And that'll do it, folks. With Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
On a Denver court with Atlanta Pickers. What are we doing? Oh, we're getting tired, bro. We just got us a dub, bro. We just got a dub. With the lineup is the defense, bro. We just come back clutch. Did you see that? That boy went up 8 on us. We grabbed him by the neck and sprinkled him down. We not playing with these niggas, Chad. I swear, bro. They just come back.
The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me tonight, Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And on the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Got a nice little lineup over there. I see that, boy.
And it's Atlanta to start out.
Big screen, big screen, big screen.
The screen from Ewing. The three-pointer, no good.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
Outside Howard. Patrick Ewing comes up with the rebound. Here's Wang. That 3 off the mark.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Howard in the post. Missed inside.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Fucking bully, bro. Give me the ball.
Ewing with it. And it's Howard picking him up. Pass to Ewing. Atlanta again missing. Now here's Howard from the stripe. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And Howard isn't exactly known for his jump shot, but once in a while, he's spot on. Great work by him there, measuring it up perfectly.
And it's Banchero missing. Right side, Harper. Ariza with it. Rejected by Banchero.
And when Banchero turns it up, he can be a factor at the defensive end.
Atlanta again missing.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
The first overall pick, and Stan, we have seen this kid, 6'10" Paolo Banchero. How impressive have you assessed his passing skills?
Well, Kevin, it was the thing that surprised me most about him when he came in the NBA. I knew he could put the ball on the floor and attack the basket, get to the free throw line, but he is one of the best big playmakers in this league, making the game easier for all of his teammates.
Wow, what a great asset.
You aren't kidding.
And here's Banchero. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. Still without a basket in the game. To the paint. Here's Wang. Ellie grabs the board. Pass to Howard. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
First personal foul.
And Howard living at the line, all about knocking him back.
Free throw good, Howard. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Well, you have to appreciate a big man who can step up to the line and knock it down with confidence.
To the middle. Wang. No good with the layup. Bounce pass Howard. Stolen by Ewing. Here's Banchero. And it's Gasol with the rebound. White down low. Pass to Gasol. Here's Helly. Off target with his 3. Atlanta trails by 4. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Howard. And Ewing sends it back. Young from outside sinks the three-pointer.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Atlanta calls timeout. Good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. The Suns leading by a point. And the second quarter will be on the way. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. Guys, what's your take on the home team so far?
I mean, the rebounding was the difference in that first period. You've got to block these guys out.
Hey, look, it's simple. More rebounds means more possessions, and that's clearly been their priority.
Atlanta with the ball. They trail by 1. Greg, in January 2024, Pascal Siakam was traded out of Toronto.
And he came into the league an older player from a mid-major school. The Raptors did a lot to help Siakam, turning him into an all-NBA caliber player.
Outside, Gasol. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And here's Young on the arc. Klay Thompson grabs the miss. Siakam inside. Over Young. Hits the front of the rim and out. Every play, just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Again, Young missing. Here's White. Nothing on the board. Stolen by Mitchell.
Kick it out! Kick it out!
They set the screen. Inside. And he jams it with authority.
And the defense so concerned with Mitchell in the two-man game. That opens things up for others. Nice find.
Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Defensive foul.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for Atlanta?
First team foul.
Well, our coaching staff has to be happy with how active they've been defensively, forcing turnovers and making the offense uncomfortable.
And so far, just a great job forcing turnovers and creating opportunities in the open floor. The defense at the heart of that.
To end the run. And no good, trying to use the glass.
2 minutes remaining.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
Pass to Starks. From outside the arc. That one also a miss for him, just like the other 3 attempts this game. Thompson from long range. That falls. Nice feed that time from Harper.
Arguably the smoothest jumper in the game. Klay Thompson.
Well, that's probably not the shot they were looking for, but hey, when it goes in, everybody's happy.
And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And the home team has possession. 6-point game. Pass to Thompson. Back to Harper. Thompson with it. Covered by Starks. Out to the right wing. Here's Helly. Banchero grabs the board. Atlanta leading by 6. Irving with a clean look. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Here's Howard. Rejected by Banchero.
And that's a full stretch on that block by Banchero, using all of his length.
Fires for 3. They get the rebound. Howard draws the double. And stolen by James. Starks outside. Gets the 3-pointer to fall.
3-point.
Starks has got the lead up to 9 now for Atlanta.
One thing about Starks, he is extremely confident on both ends.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock.
Got to run the clock and wait for the last shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here.
Thompson outside. That's tipped. That will count. And so we conclude the first half. It's Atlanta as they wrap up the second quarter with a 13-3 run. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Siakam outside. And a miss there on the triple. Atlanta leading by 9. James, that's a 2-pointer. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
I tell you what, he came out of that locker room raring to go.
Outside Howard. Here's Siakam. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And watch Siakam just spring up for those offensive boards. Athletic ability gets him to the ball so fast.
Now James. Passed away. Lets it go with a 3. Buries it from 3-point range. Wang's got 5 points so far. They get it back. Another shot. No good from Howard.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Banchero with the screen. Here's Wang. He's got 5. Shot clock at 3. And again, it's Atlanta.
Oh, good to see that Banchero has options that he can't penetrate. Your game has to be multifaceted in the league.
And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. wants to regroup and go over the strategy.
Substitution on the court.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Away team.
And coach is looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Well, that's the job, right? Your duty as a coach is to finesse your lineups so your guys get the best chance to succeed.
That'll be a 5-second call.
Violation.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Young for three. Another three for Atlanta.
3-point field goal.
And this is what Young is known for, a knockdown threat from downtown.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Away team ball.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Mitchell outside. Got a hand on it. They retain possession. Young with no one around. Off target from outside.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
And here is Howard.
That'll be 8 seconds.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
To the away team.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
An excellent ball movement. Young being unselfish.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
For three, Mitchell.
Hey, yo, that's all you.
Lets the three fly. Rebounded by Howard.
The contest plus the board. A full defensive possession from him. Great effort.
And nothing is falling for him right now. Atlanta leading by 19 points. Pass to James. Goes up from the top of the key. That one wide left.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Thompson in the corner. Atlanta again missing.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
The ball goes to the away team.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Blue all day.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Thompson.
Using his length, getting in close to stuff it down. That's just too easy.
Blue all day.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. That'll be a 5-second call.
Violation.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
It's stolen by Livingston. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Here's Atlanta now. Some momentum with a 15-2 run underway. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Mitchell feeling it out a bit. Fires the three. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Atlanta cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. We've got more in store for you right after this. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Here's James to the inside. Here's Irving. Rejected by Gasol. They grabbed their own miss. On the wing, Irving. Over Gasol. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Now here's Anderson.
That's an 8-second
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Starks with it. Puts up a deep 3. Atlanta again missing.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking them up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Pass to Wang. Now Harper. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Atlanta calls timeout. Here's Young. Launches it from deep. Atlanta again missing. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now.
Second violation.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Atlanta leading by 22. Tries a three off the inbound. And here's Ariza. And Trae Young gets the whistle that time.
Trae Young.
That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
No good from Ellie.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Now here's Ariza. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
The ball goes to the away team.
They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
Away team ball. Substitution on the court.
Atlanta leading by 22. Young outside. Lets it go from deep. Gasol with the rebound.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
Substitution on the court.
.121 left in the fourth.
Away team foul. McLaurin. First personal foul. Second team foul.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
The ball goes to the away team.
Smooth sailing for Atlanta. Nothing doing offensively yet for them in the fourth. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
8-second violation.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Substitution for the away team. Julius Irving. Donovan Mitchell.
That'll be a 5-second call.
Inbound violation. Home team ball.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Atlanta leading by 22. Young from outside. Sinks the triple.
Trae Young.
Young's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Atlanta.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
The ball goes to the away.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Here we go, here we go.
For three, Ellie grabs the board.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Another miss by Young.
Just too many missed threes for him tonight. He must be sharper here down the stretch.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
Away team ball.
32 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Harper with the ball.
That'll be 8 seconds.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Young, right side. Just 5 to shoot. Irving up top. Mitchell right side. Young for 3. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Well, folks, that's going to...
It's always hard against a set defense. So off the top of my head, those are a few things, but I'm sure there's probably more that we can weave through and so much film. For sure, Aaron, right? Through all the ways we built on and shape. There were almost too many winning plays to count on any kind of side. It felt like in the fourth quarter when Kobe's put back the steal on it down. Like, what was maybe the most frustrating part of the way the fourth quarter ever moved? I'm not too sure. We just, like you said, it felt like they won all the 50-50 plays. They executed on both ends of the ball. When you give those two things up, and no matter what quarter, you're probably going to lose the quarter. Especially, and it goes back to especially on the road, hostile environment, crowds behind them. So, yeah, we got to take care of those things if we want to come out against Florida. You had an additional thought, Legs, on the way he was going.
Absolutely. And you know Rick Carlisle would come up with this after he saw the film for the first 2 games. But what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's talking about with the physicality, what specifically did I see differently? I thought in games 1 and 2, he was allowed to pick. All of the options were on his menu offensively because they were squared up to him so he could go either direction, which means the help defender